Hey, what's up guys? I'm Tommy and welcome to Tommy Tech Outdoors. Today I'm going to show you how to do the rudder upgrade on my Pro Angler 360. So stay tuned. So on this channel I do a lot of how-tos, reviews, and share my experiences fishing, crabbing, kayaking, boating, and just spending quality time with family and friends outdoors. So if those interest you, consider subscribing to my channel by clicking that red subscribe button below and click that notification bell so you know when I upload new content. Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how to do the rudder upgrade on my Hobie Pro Angler 360. This is actually a rudder. It's made by Eddie Willis. I'll provide a link below to where you can get one if you guys are interested. His contact information will be there as well. But this is actually an aluminum rudder, and the reason I got this is because I actually heard with the plastic rudder that when you're in stronger currents that turning seems to be a problem, and you're going to ask probably, well, you have a 360, you can turn with that, but I don't necessarily always want to use my 360 drive, especially when I'm doing like trolling and saltwater, because I want to do wide turns, and it's actually better to do wide turns with the rudder. And then also when I'm using my Bixby jet, I'm hoping this will actually turn a little bit better with that as well, so we'll find out. But the cool thing is it's actually really sturdy. That is a plus and a minus, because you could potentially destroy the piece here that holds the rudder, because it is metal and it's not going to really give like the plastic. But we'll see, because that piece is replaceable too. But I'm hoping that I can just turn better with this, in salts when I'm in those heavy currents. But now I'm going to take you guys in closer so you can get a look at the install. Alright guys, so as you can see here, the rudder was custom painted by Eddie Willis, which is actually really cool because it actually matches the paint pattern on my PA. So he can actually paint it pretty much any color you want, which is really cool. He has a couple stencils. I'm hoping he gets some more. I actually do have this for my Outback, my 2019 Outback. So I'll show you guys that install in a future video as well. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to have to do is get access to your rudder steering, which usually there's a black plate here, but I actually had the Hobie power pole mount on there because I have my Bixby jet mount here that was actually just like that, but I actually taken it off already. But now that I have access to the steering, what I actually have to do is remove this screw right here, and then the rudder will drop, and then I'll be able to replace it with this one. Alright, so now I have to remove the screw right here, and then I'll have to pull off this whole piece right here. This should come right up. Let's see. Yep, there you go. That came right up. And then now I've got, you can see right here, it's got the little pin right here. This should come right out. I might have to use a hammer to help get it out. And then once that pin, this pin comes out, then the rudder will drop. But it's actually held to by this. It's actually held by. So once I get the pin out, the rudder should drop, but it's also held right here by this cord. This is actually what raises and lowers. You can hear it, right? Raises and lowers your rudder. So let me go ahead and try to get that pin out. All right, so I'm going to try to get this pin out using a chisel and hammer. Let's see if this will work. Alright guys, so I got the pin out. I had to use this really tiny screwdriver to be able to get through. Here I'm just holding it right now so I could grab the rudder on the bottom, because it should come out. There it goes. And then there is a knot on the bottom, which I'll show you in a second. Alright, so you can see right here there's a knot that's actually holding up the rudder. So all I have to do is pull some of the slack back and then get the knot, or undo the knot. That's probably going to be a chore. It feels pretty tight. So let me do that and then I'll get back to you. Alright guys, so here's one mistake. I should have actually taken the knot out before I took the pin out. So what I did was I put the pin back in, not all the way, but partially in just to hold the rudder. So now I can take off the knot a little bit easier. It is a pain because this knot's pretty hard, but now it's easier because now I don't have to hold the rudder at the same time. So let me get back at it and try to get this knot off. Alright guys, so now I've got the knot off. It was actually a lot easier having it still attached. I've taken the pin out and then now you can see it comes out nicely. To take the rudder out of this metal mount, what you have to do is use a flathead on one side and then a Phillips on the other. So you kind of have to take it and kind of hold it under your arm and have a flathead put on one side, and then if you can see that, and then the Phillips. Then I can unscrew the Phillips side, and actually what you can actually see right there is a spring. That's pretty important, that spring that's in there. But anyways, so I'm taking the screw out. It's not pretty good. I can use my fingers now. So I'm going to take that out, and then there's actually a little cylinder. That's actually what the flathead part is. It's a little cylinder that goes between it. So you see right here. Pull the cylinder out. That's it right there. And then now you can take the rudder off. So you just pull it off like so. Just pull it out, and then you'll actually see the spring come out right here. If the spring falls out, don't worry about it. I'll actually show you how to put it back in if the spring comes out like that. But that's how you take the rudder out, and then now we can put the new aluminum rudder in. Alright guys, so here are both of the rudders. Put them kind of one on top of the other. Of course the black is the original. As you can see, this one that Eddie Willis made is a lot longer. And it looks like it's a little bit wider as well. The nice thing is, again, it has the notch, which I'll show you later. So it'll actually sit flat when you have it pulled up. So to put it back inside of this, what you have to do is you're gonna have to have the spring here. The way the spring actually works is you're gonna have the one piece go right here, hanging onto the rudder, and then on the mount right here, you can see this little hole, so you just have to kind of, it's not too hard to get in. You can kind of look at it and get the other piece right here. Let me see. There you go. So you can see that right there, that actually slides right into the little hole right here onto the mount. There you go, there's the hole. And all you have to do is slide this right into it, and then the other piece goes right into the rudder. So I've got that in, and then now I'm gonna hold it there, take the rudder itself, and make sure you have it oriented this way. The metal piece is in the back. This is the rudder right side up. We're gonna put the spring right in like so, and then all you do is, yeah, so now I have to take the spring part, kind of get it inside of the mount because it's not lined up. There you go. And then now you can take this piece here and then push this around, and you'll see now everything's lined up nicely. Then I'll have to put the screws back in, and I should be good to go. So let me go ahead and do that. All right guys, so one of the problems I had was with these spacers. They weren't actually lined up exactly right, so I had to actually just take a screwdriver and then just kind of pop it so that I can move it, and then I was able to put the little cylinder piece in. This is the flathead piece. So now that fits in, so now I should be able to line up everything and screw it in as it should be. So let me go back now have to put it back on the spring piece here. We'll push that in, line it up. All right, so now I should be able to line everything up nicely, and this should fit right in. Yep, there you go. So now the cylinder piece fits nicely, and then now I just have to do the whole thing of holding one side, you know, put it in my arm, and then screwing this piece in. Putting a flat head on one side and then screwing this in. So I'm not going to show you that again, just because it's pretty much the opposite of what I did early in the video. So once I do that, we'll put the rudder back in. All right, guys, I actually moved the kayak outside. It's a little easier for me to install it on my T-bone. I actually have my rudder here. And the one thing to note is the way to install the rudder, you're going to install it this way. Just make sure the notch is facing back this way, because this notch is actually going to be up like so, like that, inside of the kayak. So make sure when you install it that the notch is on the top, not this way. So again, just like so. So I'm going to take you in closer so you guys can see how everything looks like underneath the kayak. Alright guys, so here's underneath the kayak. Right here is actually the hole where the shaft of the rudder mount is going to go into. It's going to go into just like so, but there is this little sleeve. It's a little plastic sleeve. This will actually pop off easily. So that's actually going to go in here. I'm actually just going to put it right on the shaft and put it up like so, and then I'm gonna take you to the top so you guys can see how to put the little pin in so that it stays secure. All right guys, now that I have my rudder up, I can install the little pin here to keep it in place. Just put this drill bit here to hold it for me temporarily, and again on the top there's again this little sleeve. So we're going to put the sleeve back down on it, like so, and then the pin is just going to go right through. Hopefully I can do this without having to hammer initially. There you go, so I got the pin in initially, and then what I'm going to do is take a small screwdriver, and then I'm going to hammer it in. So I'm going to do that real quick. So I got this little screwdriver just to help me. I can do this right. There you go. There you go. And that's in pretty good. Actually, you have to line it up. I don't know if you guys can see that here on the little rudder plate. It's right here. You kind of have to match the length of how the pin is so that it actually fits correctly inside of this little indentation here. So I'll take a picture, show you guys what that looks like, but this looks actually just about where it needs to be. If I have to, I may have to hammer it out a little bit to match. So I actually had it backwards, so I actually have to hammer this down the other way because it fits this way, and it's actually the opposite. So hammer this down a bit. That looks good. Let's try it. See if it fits. Yep, we gotta hammer it down a little bit more. Just a little bit. So there you go. Let's try it again. This rudder moves a bit. Let me hold the rudder from the bottom. There you go. I think that's in there. Yep, that's in there good. Then all I gotta do is put the screw in, and we're good to go. So it's just this little screw that keeps the little rudder plate in. Yep, that's in good. This rudder is deployed, so I should be able to turn it. Yep. So rudder moves good. Alright guys, so the other part you have to do with the rudder is install the cord. This is actually for you to be able to deploy and stow the rudder, so it pulls it up. And it's just this little hole right here. Hopefully you can see that. But anyways, all you gotta do is just take the cord, put it through. Biggest pain was actually taking the knot out of the cord. So put the cord through, and then all you gotta do is just make an overhand knot with the cord. If you wanna do two, that's fine. But one should be good. So I just made an overhand knot. And now I should be able to deploy and stow my rudder, because all this essentially does is pulls it right up here. Let's see. So it pulls it up like so. And that's it. You're good to go. Alright guys, so that was the install of the aluminum rudder on my Hobie Pro Angler 360. The rudder is actually really nice. I did actually get a chance to use it. I did find though that the rudder, even though it is deployed, when I actually tip my kayak back, the rudder does hit, and I actually have a little bit of you can see where it's kind of rubbing back here. So this would actually be probably more ideal for if you had a trailer. That way you're just kind of putting it in and not having to tip your kayak back. So just keep that in mind if you do get the larger one. I think I may end up selling this probably and just going back to the regular one. I'll still get the aluminum one, but just the regular size. I have yet to see if it does make a difference in terms of my steering, just because I haven't been in a heavy current yet. I just did some snakehead fishing in some really shallow water, and the current's not too strong there anyways. But I will update you guys a little later, and I'll actually let you know if I do change the rudder. Actually, I'll make another video showing you guys if I go with the smaller one. But if you guys have any comments or questions about the rudder, let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys are interested in getting the rudder, I'll provide Eddie's information below where you guys can get one for yourself. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe for future videos. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Got him. Little guy.